let's face it, I mean, he's getting greatness from both sides of this family. There have been no shortage of them. More decorated as a college football player already than his dad was.
I'll have to go with the Griffeys. I think Griffey Sr., Griffey Jr., hard to argue, the back-to-back homers.
Bobby Bonds and his son, his son, Barry Bonds. There are probably a few pretty famous ones. This is the Ricky Cobb Show, brought to you by Prize Picks. Preseason football is underway. College football is right around the corner. Don't miss any of the action this season on Prize Picks. So head over there and get started. It's going to be a big year. We'll be talking about it. I've got some thoughts on that as we go through the season, eyeing up which players this season I think are going to have big years, and getting in on some of that action with Prize Picks. And let's start by talking about a little college football here. E.J. Warner, you may or may not have heard of him. He is a 3-year starting college quarterback, and he has transferred from Rice to Fresno State. This will be his third team that he has captained in the modern era of college football, where guys quarterback for more teams when they're college players than some 18-year NFL veterans. There you see EJ. After starting his career at Temple, a couple of years there, he went to Rice for his junior year, now headed to Fresno State, where he has won the quarterback competition. And EJ Warner is notable, among other reasons, for being the son of Kurt Warner. That's right, he's got a pedigree. And actually more decorated as a college football player already than his dad was. Some of you no doubt remember that Kurt Warner sat the bench at Northern Iowa for most of his career there, finally became a starter, played well as a starter, but didn't get any real interest from the pros. Ended up working at a Hy-Vee grocery store, working the overnight shift for $5.50 an hour. 5 years later, after 10 years in the Arena League and NFL Europe, remember that? Yeah, he became a Super Bowl champion. So E.J. Warner carrying on the Warner family legacy. And let's face it, I mean, he's getting greatness from both sides of this family. This has got to be the biggest year for the Warners since 1999, when Kurt passed for 41 touchdowns and his wife explained what sweet dreams are made of and didn't feel that she could disagree. I remember she said, "Hold your head up, moving on. Keep your head up, moving on." So good luck to E.J. Warner. We're going to do a Gimme 5 today in honor of E.J. and Papa Kurt. We're going to do our top 5 father-son combinations in the history of sports. That'll be coming up a little bit later in the program. But first, my friends, Prize Picks is simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. Now, I've got my eye this year on Saquon Barkley, coming off of a 2,005-yard season. What's he going to do for an encore? I'm kind of working the numbers in my head right now, thinking, where do I feel is going to be that number that I feel he's going to go over it this year in terms of rushing yardage? Maybe you're thinking about Joe Burrow, who led the NFL with 43 touchdown passes last year. Can he eclipse that number? How many is he going to have this year? Well, this is where those skills come into great use, my friends, with Prize Picks, because if you get your picks right, you can cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds. It doesn't take long. And turn your sports opinions into real money on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use my code RICKY. That's right, RICKY, to get $50 in lineups after you make your first $5 lineup play. It's as simple as that. That is code RICKY to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is a deal that is just simply too good to pass up, my friends. Prize Picks, run your game. And I am excited to jump in myself and get in on this action and cash in the same football knowledge that I use to make Ronnie t-shirts drink an IPA on this program last year, and Ronnie and I will need to finalize our own personal wagers as well. So E.J. Warner, as the starting quarterback for Fresno State, the third college team in 4 years that he has piloted, got me thinking about great father-son combinations in sports history, and there have been no shortage of them. There have been some really, really good ones. So this morning I started racking my brain thinking, okay, who are the most elite ones? And I realized that this is a conversation that I've got to loop Ronnie T-shirts and producer Tim in on. And it's a great opportunity for us to play a little game that we like to call Gimme Five. So fellas, when I say great father-son combinations in the history of sports, there are probably a few pretty famous ones that will spring into mind. I'm not going to go ahead and put words in your mouths, but I don't know which one of you wants to go first. I'm going to go ahead and give that honor to producer Tim today, Tim, because I think you were actually the first among us to say that this was a good Gimme Five occasion, and in honor of this being your brainchild. When I say great father-son duos in sports history, what's the first one that comes to mind for you?
When I say gimme, you give me five, give me five, give me five. Jesus, Ricky, I don't know, man. There's any number of ways to go with this. It is baseball season, so I think I'll start. I'll have to go with the Griffeys. I think Griffey Sr., Griffey Jr., hard to argue, the back-to-back homers, what they did in the day, really, I think, monumental. So for me, I'm going to go Ken Sr., Ken Jr. Sweet bastards they were.
They're on a different level because they played together. And, as I was saying in the pre-show text thread, this is an opportunity to poke a little fun at LeBron and Bronny because that was contrived. That was made for television. It didn't happen organically like it did with the Griffeys. I mean, they went back-to-back home runs. We'll never see such a thing again if we live 10 lifetimes probably, but they went back-to-back homers in a major league game playing together in the same lineup. And Ken Griffey Sr., it should be noted, was a very, very good player. We're talking about a guy who was a key contributor to the Big Red Machine back in the mid-1970s. I believe he had over 2,000 hits in his career, which is no small feat. There aren't a lot of guys that are in the 2,000 hit club. We talk about the 3,000 hit club. 2,000 is pretty rarefied air, actually, if you really look at it. So obviously Junior's records are huge. He had over 600 home runs. The 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card is maybe the most iconic trading card of the post-1980 era. It changed baseball card collecting, that's for sure. So I think that's a great pick on every level, Tim. Pretty, maybe an obvious pick, but yeah. I don't think you could have a serious Gimme Five here without the Griffeys.
Well said. Ronnie, who do you got? Welcome back.
Thank you. Griffeys.
Welcome back, Ron.
Thanks, man. Griffeys are 100%, I think, the top of everybody's list. I am going to go basketball on this one, and I'm going to go Dell and Steph Curry. We can put Seth in there too because he played in the NBA a little bit, but it's really Dell and it's Steph.
Steph's doing the heavy lifting there.
I mean, Dell had a good career.
He did.
I mean, he wasn't a superstar, but he still had he wasn't just some guy that got a couple points in the NBA. He was a good player.
Yeah, he was a role player, but sharpshooter.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly I don't think any of us saw Steph Curry coming out of Davidson and ending up
way.
We talked about it when I did my top 10 NBA players of all time. Steph has an argument to be in the back end of a valid top 10 NBA players of all time list. He's certainly in my top 15. So hard to argue with that, Ronnie. I'm going to stay with baseball here and say the Bonds family, Bobby Bonds, and his son, human growth hormone. His son, Barry Bonds, who is the all-time major
Big
league
head Barry
leader with 762 home runs. Yeah, big head Barry. Hey, look, I've got a big head, but I got mine the natural way. Okay? God just said, you got a big noggin, motherfucker. I didn't do it on PEDs. I got here the way God intended. The same way that Henry Aaron got to 755, cigarettes and amphetamines, just the way that it ought to be. Mm-hmm. But Bobby Bonds, people can't forget how good he was. 5 times he was a 30-30 man. And the only person in the history of baseball who has at least 5 30-30 seasons, his son Barry, who leads the list with 6.
Speaking of big heads, Ricky.
Big foreheads.
Look at that. Well, Archie Manning he was busy reproducing. I don't think that he has more kids than I do. How many total Mannings are there?
3.
I have said before, are there any girls?
No, it's just Cooper, Eli, and Peyton.
All right. Well, they say Cooper would have been the best of all of them if he hadn't had spine issue that he had. His son, like obviously carrying on the DNA into a 3rd generation here. But most Super Bowl wins by a quarterback, as I tweeted. Tom Brady leads the list with 7. Joe Montana won 4. Terry Bradshaw won 4. And, of course, Archie Manning won 4 with his spermatozoa, fellas. He planted a seed in his wife 4 times. That went on, 2 times.
No, he didn't.
Cooper wasn't worth a damn Super Bowl. He's wondering what's wrong with Cooper. What the fuck's wrong with you? You didn't bring any Super Bowls home to this family. He's averaging 1.33 Lombardis per kid.
Crazy.
How's that for a statistic?
Listen, the Ripkins remind us though that it doesn't always mean you're going to have, quite a successful run with kids here, as you alluded to in one of your tweets here.
This is what happens. Billy Ripken doesn't come on the program. Well, it's open season on you, motherfucker. But no, I tweeted this some time ago. Cal Sr., in a conversation that I like to pretend happened in my mind, enjoying a quiet moment with Cal Jr. there, probably at spring training perhaps, and saying, every time I watch Billy play, I think, God, you're the one I named after me. It's a fine line. You'd hate to see Billy go on to the Hall of Fame career while Cal is scrapping it around, hitting 240, wearing your name. So Cal Ripken Sr. certainly got the naming of his offspring right. And I believe that brings us down. I'm going to have to mention too, this is going to be an Antonio Alfonseca edition of Give Me 5. The one that I feel obligated to mention is Brett Hull and Bobby Hull. Because Brett Hull is 5th all time on the NHL goals scored list. Bobby is 19th. But Bobby went to the WHA back in the 70s, and he scored over 300 there. So Bobby Hull has over 900 goals combined between the WHA and the NHL, more goals than Brett. So those guys were, filling it up for years and years and years. So got to mention them. And the one that I got to shout out, old Tom Morris and young Tom Morris. Both of them. Ronnie, do you know why they're famous?
They both won a British Open. I don't know.
They both won 4.
Oh,
British
there you
Opens. Go. Yeah. So those two fuckers there, they each have as many majors as Scotty Scheffler. All Open championships. And here's a tweet with, I believe that is old Tom Morris there. I said, in 1867, old Tom Morris claimed his 4th Open championship by holding off a stellar field consisting of young Tom Morris, even older Tom Morris, extremely old Tom Morris, 2 goats, and some guy that they promised a bowl of soup. So the fields weren't exactly as strong back in the 1800s over at the Open Championship. That was the time. If you wanted to win a claret jug, the time to do it was back in the 1860s before everybody really started practicing golf. I think you would have had a better chance. So there is that. So I don't know, fellas. I mean, who's the greatest of the great? Who's number one out of all of these combinations that we've mentioned in your mind?
Well, it has to be Griffey's, right?
Yeah, it could be the Earnhardts. Could Earnhardts get an honorable mention? I don't know. I think Ron, you were talking maybe Marvin Harrison Sr. and Jr.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously me being a homer, but I mean up until last year, I didn't think I'd ever see a wide receiver as good as Marvin Harrison Jr. And now, of course, we have Jeremiah Smith. But I mean, his dad had a fantastic, obviously, NFL career, and yet to be seen if Jr. is going to do anything in the pros. But I don't know, man. I just don't know how's it not the Griffeys? Like, it just feels like.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the Earnhardts, though, what they mean to NASCAR is just pretty epic, right?
Yeah.
I think it's the one name superstar. Granted, maybe they don't. Well, certainly championships wise too, Ron. But I hear you on the Griffeys. I think Ricky's.
I mean, we're probably not. We're what? What do you think, Ricky? 4, 5, 6 years away from finding out if Tiger and Charlie might be a thing, because Charlie looks promising.
Charlie
looks promising.
Charlie's got a lot of pressure on him. I do think that we got to shout out the Boones though. Our friend Aaron Boone, Brett Boone as well, friend of the program, Bob Boone, their dad, Major League All-Star. I mean, he's in the top 3 or 4 all-time games caught in the major leagues, and their grandfather Ray Boone as well. They're the first 3rd generation major leaguers. So a shout out to Ray Boone and Bob Boone and the Boone
Brock
boys.
Showed love, Ricky. Brock showed love to Boone. Your Chat GPT list did not have them top 10, but Grok had them top 10. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I have suddenly become a Chat GPT fan in recent times, but I'm a free agent. Whoever brings me the best AI is going to get me. And Jameis Winston is always ready to go to whatever NFL team is ready to receive him with open arms, and bring some of that special Jameis Winston energy that Ron and I are such big fans of. And well, his tenure with the New York Giants has been very brief so far, but you can tell he's already the mayor of the Giants kingdom. Let's take a look.
All right, here's the deal. All right, all 4 quarterbacks are going to have a chance. If he hits the crossbar, then walkthrough's done tonight.
Hey, but I do want to tell y'all we got Bible study at 3:30 during the snack period, and y'all faith is going to determine me hitting this. Y'all know.
There you go. What is it that the Bible says about if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed? Somebody had faith that Jameis was going to hit the crossbar. If he'd made another throw, he might have hit another team's crossbar and it would have taken it back for a pick 6, which is one of the reasons that I love him so much. Bible study, Ron, what is there not to like? Watching him, Tim and I were watching him walk around Super Bowl Radio Row down there. He looked like he was having more fun than anybody else in the entire building. We could all use a little bit of what Jameis Winston seems to have naturally. Always am going to root for that kid. All right, Ronnie, here's one for you. We've got What the Fuck Ron on deck later in the program, but I'm just going to ask you What the Fuck Ron over this one unofficially, because we've got Walmart is flying
There he is.
drones.
Holy cow. Salt and pepper pistachios on the way.
Look at that. That is not the flyover before a Super Bowl.
Let's open it up.
That is a Walmart drone in Arkansas.
There you go. There you go. Let them open it up. Walmart.
I just feel like there's lawsuits waiting to happen on this.
That thing just screamed by, dropped it off accurately in the backyard, didn't hit a toddler in the head, thankfully.
Wait, what did they get?
Nuts.
Pistachios.
The nuts are intact.
Oh, those are there they are.
Yeah. They didn't even hurt their nuts.
The wave of the future.
in the drop.
It feels more like a gimmick than it
And
does a
there-
money-making venture.
There are going to be more Walmart drone deliveries coming, not necessarily to a neighborhood near you or I, but they are going to be rolling this out in various locations. Right now, it seems to be primarily Texas. That one was from Arkansas, but they're branching out. And I'll give you a little bit here, Ron. Unlike traditional delivery, drones generally will just deliver one thing at a time. So they can carry, this one company's brand of drone can carry packages weighing up to 2.5 pounds, and they can do 12-mile round trips. And one pilot can oversee the activities of 32 drones. That seems like that would be a lot of irons to have in the fire. And then there's another company that has a drone that can carry stuff that's up to 4 pounds, and it can fly 120 miles round trip. So the future is getting really fucking weird, really fucking fast, Ron, and I'm not sure how I feel about it.
That's all fine and dandy, but I always look at everything from a business standpoint, Ricky. Like, how much money is Walmart making off of a pack of pistachios? Like $3 or $4 tops? And they're sending this out. I mean, maybe they're doing it because we're talking about it and we're saying Walmart over and over again, and maybe that's what they're hoping for. But in a microcosm, it seems like a terrible business idea.
It was a display of Walmart's military might.
Like the hot dogs. Like
smaller carbon footprint, though, Ron.
Walmart.
Smaller carbon footprint, less traffic. Less traffic.
There's so much about that.
Well, the FAA is giving them more permission.
Flying around, dropping shit. I don't know. Something fucked up has to happen, but something not fucked up is about to happen right now, gentlemen, because I should remind you that we're at the point in the program for it's time for me to say it's time for America's Poll of the Day, and let's go to it now. It's Super 70 Sports on X, where the eagle flies high and then comes by like a Walmart drone and drops 4 options on you, pistachio nuts not included among them today. And I will give all of the credit for today's poll to my lovely girlfriend, who came up with all 4 of these, and I just dutifully entered them in, glad that I didn't have to come up with anything for today. So here's what we have. Goldie Hawn, who was a very fetching young lady back in the days of Rowan and Martin's Laugh In, and went on to have a very good motion picture career. Press Your Luck, the game show hosted by the late Peter Tamarkin. No Whammies. Foreigner, I've been waiting for a girl like you to come into my life. I think that was Foreigner. They had a bunch of radio hits in the 80s. And then lastly, Tube Socks. Who doesn't enjoy a good pair of tube socks? Nobody that I would trust. Ronnie, break it down for me as only you can.
All right. So I'm going to put Goldie Hawn and tube socks in the same category, Ricky. Loved them in the 70s. Not interested in them now. So I do like Goldie Hawn because she produced Kate Hudson. So I do like Kate Hudson. Tube socks, I mean, brings back such great memories, Ricky, because, all you wanted to do was, because they came in packs of 6 generally. And so, you'd be at Sears or Kmart or whatever, your mom would grab them, and you would have to try to look at it through the plastic to make sure that your team was represented by at least one of the pairs, right? And so I vividly remember that. Foreigner, I mean, just going to throw them in with what I talk about all the time. I am never going to choose to listen to Foreigner, but if one of their hits comes on, I like it, but I'll never choose to listen to it. And Press Your Luck, I don't really recall watching it that much. I know what it is, and I know the whole whammy thing. I did find an interesting fact, though, Ricky. Some guy figured out that the random lights weren't actually random lights, and there was just a series of 5. He figured it out, went on the show, won $110,000 back in the 80s. Yeah. So little
I think
fun
they
fact.
made a documentary about that.
Yeah.
If I'm not
Well, there was one
mistaken.
about Price is Right. The guy figured out the Price is Right too.
Yeah.
So there's two different ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy was on the Rain Man
Mm-hmm.
spectrum somewhere.
Yep.
All right, so look, I'm going to vote for Tube Socks. I kind of caught a peep at the results earlier, so
I'm voting for Tube
I
Socks
don't
too
think
because
it's
I
gonna
didn't
do
say.
quite
I
as
am
well.
voting for Tube Socks.
I'm gonna vote for Goldie Hawn. Damn it! And let's light that candle. See what the public has to say here. I think we may have a pretty good race between Goldie Hawn, Pressure Luck, and Foreigner. We shall see.
I went Goldie,
Maybe
guys,
Tube
because
Socks are
I went Goldie
better
because
than
the tube socks always got stretched out.
Because
There
you
it
have
is.
massive calves.
There it is. Well, Goldie Hawn never got stretched out, and she's going to win 36.3% of the vote.
Do you know how old she
Foreigner
is
right
today?
now in second place, and Pressure Luck in third. She's got to be probably, mid-70s maybe?
79.
I'm guessing.
79.
Oh, wow. Well, Debbie Harry's 80. I
What?
think. So there's that. When I
Oh,
was
God.
10 years old, however, she was much younger and still a very, very attractive woman. But who was the third baseman of your favorite team when you were 10 years old is a question I tweeted out. And man, we got well over 1,000 responses.
You know who mine
I
was.
believe.
Mine. Wait, the Reds weren't your favorite team. I was going to say mine's obviously Pete Rose
No.
because I was a Reds fan.
Yeah. My first favorite team was the Yankees because of Reggie Jackson. And so Greg
Gotcha.
Nettles was the guy. Watching Greg Nettles in the 1978 World Series, making all kinds of great plays. Dan Hondo Hannon going with Wade Boggs there, which is clearly a good choice. There's Darrell Evans. Look at Darrell Evans wearing those shades there. Classic 1970s Atlanta Braves. There's the great Ed B. Fine American. He said
great
that
card.
his favorite was Greg Nettles too, except for unfortunately for Ed, he was an Indians fan when he was 10 years old, and that is where Nettles was before he came to Yankees. I think he was on Minnesota too. There's the great Bob Horner. A lot of us that grew up on WTBS will always have a soft spot in our heart for Bob Horner. Richie Hebner is Eric Hagman's answer. Look at Nettles. Nettles is showing up 3 times. Greg Nettles was the favorite third baseman of a lot of us when we were 10 years old. And I will have to say, one of the most popular third basemen of my childhood or any other era is going to join me when we come back from our break round, because 1981 World Series MVP Dodgers legend Ron Say is going to join me. And if you enjoy the kind of content that you have seen so far on today's show, head over to OutKick.com and sign up for our official bi-weekly newsletter. It is Ricky Cobb's Rewind. It drops into your inbox every 2 weeks. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. All you have to do is head to OutKick.com/newsletters and sign up with the email of your choice. It's absolutely free. You can unsubscribe at any time. There's no commitment whatsoever. We're having a lot of fun with it, and we think that you will enjoy it too.
Hey, OutKick fans on YouTube, if you enjoyed this episode, hit the subscribe button and make your way over to OutKick.com where you can watch the full episode.